TGIF, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Have No Sphere right here on Iron Realm Media. My name is Josh Corey. We have a pretty big show planned, believe it or not. I know I've said that the last couple of weeks and we've just sort of jerked around, but we actually have guests and more guests tonight. So everybody stick around. There's going to be so much information to be gleaned from this show. You'll be glad you tuned in.
We are the way, we are the way, we are not alone. We are striving for more. We are the way, we are not alone.
Hold on to your pants, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be talking all things European. 2019 European. Damn it. I know I just talked to Adam. Adam, help me out here. How's your week been, by the way, Adam? Damn it. It's not a conference.
A convention.
It's a convention. Why does that word not ever want to stick with me?
Well, it's because you had to recheck it beforehand. So it was never going to come out. It was never going to pop. Ran off as soon as I told you.
2019 European Convention. I still second guessed myself before I spit it out. I wasn't sure if that was the right one. I just did it anyway.
Yeah, you got me second guessing. I've just gone to the website for no reason. Yeah, convention.
Look at the bright side. I cannot botch it any worse than I botched it this morning over on the Ironworks. So that's fine. But it was the same way. I had it all pre-planned, sort of set up in my head, at least how I wanted to say it, what I wanted to cover. And then Didi sent me this cool little Word document with a whole bunch more information on there. And I'm looking at that, trying to incorporate information and be able to access it later. And everything just became a huge jumbled mess. So at least I got a little bit better. But you've had a good week so far, Adam?
Yeah, it's been a cracker. Been busy, but having fun along the way, mate. Mostly with the guests this evening. I've been engaging them with them, haven't we? Getting bits and bobs set up and trying to claw my way in to try and get myself on the tour as well a little bit, So, yeah, busy old week, mate. I don't know about you, but
it was, a relatively.
We've got this pattern. You were saying we've got this pattern to sort out, but we have got, thank God, really. Even I'm stuttering now. I've caught it. We've got 9 months to get it right, Josh. So we're all right.
It'll take me at least that long, probably. Yeah. Silver linings.
Better people would have had a baby in that time.
Well, better people and a female.
Well, people being backhand of it.
Let's just get the hell out of here. We better move on before we're going to get drugged where we don't need to go. We're also joined by one Mr. John Savage.
Savage!
John, how are you doing?
Evening, chaps. Yep, doing well. Not too bad at all. Here's Kid's definition of convention. Number 1, a meeting of people for a common purpose, such as a teachers' convention. And conference is a formal meeting of people with a shared interest, typically one that takes place over several days. There you go. So I hope that's clear.
Yes. They should hyphenate it. The 2019 European Conference Convention.
Conference Convention. get together. Yeah, no.
Oh, wow.
Looking forward to the show. So moving on.
Right on, Mr. Walter Johnson. Walt, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I know it's been a long day and it's all good. It's Friday, my dudes. I was kind of laughing, John. You were already in my head. Here in the States, convention tends to put up this mental image of a bunch of guys at a motel renting it for the weekend with fezzes on and lots of fun and cutting up. That usually is a convention. The conference is when it gets serious and things are a little more academic level, and yeah, I guess is the mental thing here in the States. I could be wrong completely.
Fezzes and aprons, yeah.
Exactly. I wasn't going to go that far,
Like
but
stone cutters.
they might be hanging around a lot of stonework. Yes, sir.
I thought they're just like those candy dispensers.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Maybe Pez and not Fez. Who knows? Who knows? Well, how was the rest of your day, Josh?
It was good. You know, just working a slave job. That's all you can do to not die in the street like a dog. Just got to earn my life credits. But it was a good day. Went by quick. It was damn near 70 degrees on Monday. I almost went to work in shorts. And we left out of work about an hour and a half early today because we're getting about 10 inches of snow dumped on us tonight. So roads are horrendous out there. It was a ordeal getting home. I was in the car about 2.5 hours. It was ridiculous. The fact that I made it here at any time close to being on time was nothing short of miraculous. I really expected to get in at about 5:30. But I'm in now. I'm not going anywhere.
Well, we're very glad you made it, mate. We'd be sunk in the water without you.
And last but never least, one Mr. Zachary, too nice for rice, Zabala, the nomad. What's your take, Zach? Conference, convention?
Conference or convention? Yeah, I'm with Walt. Convention is, the policeman's whatever convention where they all go and get wasted and learn about new guns and crap like that. But a conference is like the serious yada where the scientists meet up and stuff like that. Convention is like the comic book convention.
So basically, you're saying the UK convention is
no, that's
pile of shit.
only the mental image because of how things are run here and labeled with inappropriate labels here in the States.
I'm glad to clarify.
I love comic book conventions, and there are amazing things to be found there. So don't get me wrong. I'm not putting anything down. I was just saying the mental reason that it's maybe hard for us to say it that way. I'll stop now before I dig this hole any fucking deeper.
I wonder if anybody's ever gone to a comic book conference.
You're nearly at 8 miles.
Let me give you a spade and give you an alternative.
Dig out.
An alternative definition. How about an agreement between states covering particular matters, especially one less formal than a treaty?
Beautiful.
I'll move on.
It makes no sense at all.
What is that, a constitution?
Actually,
just call it a flat earth piss up.
I have got a quick move on, Josh. I need a favour. Liz, I've seen Liz in chat, man. Panelist.
What?
I'm not having it.
Well, all right. Let me pull chat up then.
I'm in my YouTube.
Well, then I'm going to go pull up chat. Why don't you guys let everybody know sort of the itinerary for this evening? Because we've got a pretty jam-packed show, believe it or not, despite our rambling so far.
Should move on, shall we? Walt, you're much more.
Oh no!
And I've already got the rambles and of nonsensical rambles. So.
Oh man, I can't even find the cameras and stuff. Where are we? What am I doing? Tell me what to do, and I'll do it.
Tonight's rundown.
Okay, well, who are we starting with? Because I'm still confused.
Oh, come on, then. Right. Okay.
I truly am. Who are we starting with tonight? You're supposed to be on this.
As soon as Didi gets home.
All the conversation before the show, and I still don't know who we're starting with.
Okay. As soon as Didi gets home, which should be about 11 o'clock, I think Didi and Gary are going to join us.
They are at 11. Okay. Yeah. So see now. So Didi and Gary will be here at 11.
And they're going to talk to us about what they should call this event they're holding in Amsterdam. They're not sure whether to go with convention or But no,
We have some thoughts on that, interestingly enough.
maybe we could share them.
Or drunken piss up.
Drunken?
Piss up. Flat Earth drunken piss up in Amsterdam.
I'm not thinking I'm getting drunk, mate, this year.
This year.
Yeah. Well, I was a bit drunk last year, weren't I? But I mean, at the convention.
Conference?
Oh, I'm getting at the web. Convention. Anyway, that will be late end of September. So they're going to give us hopefully a rundown on where it is, how close it is to the centre of Amsterdam, because I know that's obviously an important factor. Show some of this stuff. I know it's amazing what they've managed to get, both proximity and facilities. So have a look at that, and I know that hopefully Didi's got some announcements, which quite wisely he hasn't shared with me. Yep, so I look forward to that. That's in the first half. We're not sure if somebody else may join us. Got Jason lingering. We're trying to hunt down via Travis, who was hoping to get on tonight to give a few shout outs and line himself up for in a week's time, I think. But so we're trying to track him down. Excuse me. And then we've got the second half. And I need a drink before I can do that. Someone else talk.
Well, I think I may have seen how Didi and Gary have been outdone on their Amsterdam jobby, but I'll wait to ask them a bit later as to what the counterparts across the pond are planning for 2020. And I've spoken to you about it, Adam, already, and you had no idea it was happening. So
I'm getting kind of flashbacks now, mate.
I'll put it out there now and see who's heard of this. A Flat Earth International Conference cruise, and that's about as much as I know about it. It's on their website, but with no other details. So I'd love to know if Gary and Didi know anything about that, or anyone else for that matter. Cruise where? Where is the main thing, because it's made RT, it's made numerous other news outlets.
I thought we were going to have like a dance battle.
A dance panel?
Battle.
Oh.
We'd all learn to break dance, yeah. And this would be like the IRM crew.
Call each other out.
Cruise.
Yeah. It would be more than just us. We couldn't just have one crew. What sort of battle is that? You got to have more than one crew, John.
I got you. Maybe that's right. Yeah. It's the IRM crew v the. Yeah.
Hey,
your dance name can be Special J.
I'm not doing any more than that.
Well, coming up on the second half of the show, we're going to have Roxanne talking about an actual tour, a huge tour. And she's not going to be here by herself either. She'll be here with Jason OTF of the family Didsbury.
Yeah, I'm looking. I've just had a message from Jason. He's watching in chat. So he is taken on for me what is a momentous task. And I think something that's going to generate one hell of a lot of interest for both the community, the cause, and also the conferences as well. It's kind of all, both the Amsterdam conference, the European convention, the UK convention, which is going to be held near Birmingham again, and also the Globe Lie tour, which is what Jason's going to be heading. They're all kind of working together to kind of form a continuous hit of Flat Earth, hopefully, which will be, for me, kind of forefronted by Jason's amazing commitment that he's given. And I hope he has the best of fun, but outside of that, to do what he's going to do and give up so much of his time away from his family. I think respect to the guy. And
can you be specific, Adam? Jason,
no,
who?
For the second half. Oh, Jason of the
Because
family.
we have
Didsbury.
Jason Lindgren also.
No. Jason of the family Didsbury. So Jason was the guy that shared the driving with Harry.
Trinity 4, is that?
No, that's Dave Mannon.
Okay.
Can I just give a quick shout out to Dave Marsh in chat wearing his Iron Realm Media t-shirt as we speak?
Good man.
That's what I'm talking about, Dave. That's good stuff. Look, Walt's got his on. I've got Cottonmouth Kings on. Mine's not on right now. Actually, more of mine yesterday, believe it or not.
I've virtually got mine on.
Like it's hanging up?
If I had one.
Or you just changed your avatar skin? You virtually have it on?
I've got a proper avatar this week.
You do. That's a beautiful avatar, John. That's a sexy avatar. I like the size of your avatar.
Revamped, full HD. Right, listen, we better get someone on before they decide to run a mile because of the nonsense.
12 minutes to kill, John.
I know we've twittered around enough. We've run off all the ballers. Now it's all just fam. Let's do this thing.
Well, I've got one bit of gossip that we wanted to cover, surely. Is the Owen Benjamin thing. Sure, I don't know. I didn't mention it to you, John. I don't know if you've seen it. Or aware of it even.
Oh, yes.
I am.
I can't imagine many people right now aren't aware of this.
I thought it was hilarious. I thought he challenges Dubay to they've got a debate set up, and he continuously says, "I'm not a flat earther." That would be absolutely ridiculous. I'm not a flat earther. Absolutely ridiculous. And he has a hangout. The one that I saw, he had like 3,500 people on this hangout. And he's asking for globe proofs that he can use in the debate against Eric. And Eric's also in there giggling in the chat. And he's getting nothing as predicted, other than things like people just throwing out words like inertia or gravity or all this sort of stuff. And he's just yelling at the chat.
You're banned for life.
He did what?
You're banned for life.
Yeah, he's just banning people left, right, and centre. It's like, yeah, but you just don't understand physics. Like, right, you're banned for life. Clearly, I understand. I mean, he is by no means unintelligent or whatever the word is. You know, he's a man of the world. Most comedians are actually of very high intelligence, which is why they can. Which is why they can be funny in these situations. And this guy's not an idiot at all. I mean, I'd never even heard of the guy before now, but it was just hilarious. He was just pleading with his audience for flat earth proof, something he could bring, something tangible that he could bring to the table, and he was getting nothing. He's like, oh my God, is this it? Is anyone else getting nervous? What the hell? I don't want to lose. I can't be a flat earther. It's just brilliant. If anyone hasn't seen it, go watch it. Karen B put out a brilliant video on it.
Yeah, shout out to Karen B for her edit of because he has a lot going up to this kind of flat earth breakdown he has on air. He's got a long series actually of amazing stuff out there. He had a stream where he's breaking a few that he breaks down all the NASA lies, and you can tell the way he's talking about NASA in this that he's well aware of all those lies. So I'm sure that
what I was impressed with, Walt, was the fact that he's also done his flat earth research, so he knows all the major proofs against the globe, and he's arguing back to these people in chat that he's trying to fathom his head around how a helicopter can't hover and see the globe spin below it and this sort of thing. This is a 120-year-old argument. And
is the air cemented to the earth, or is it not?
That's right.
Not lend credence to Josh's opinion on this situation.
Josh has a different opinion. Yes, sir. Go, Josh. Owen's whole.
Not really. I don't really want to piss anybody off. Some people I like to piss off, but nobody here. No,
Well,
look,
we've got it on record, and I agree with you, but I'd like to see how it pans out.
so I saw it roll across my feed. I have no idea who this fella is. No clue. I'd seen a couple videos pop up, him talking about the moon landings being fake and stuff like that, and people saying, "Oh, he's well on his way." So then this thing came up, and in the first 5 minutes, man, I checked the time. It was like 4 minutes and 16 seconds. And I've already laughed. I've cheered. I'm yelling out loud. I mean, he was on it. It's an awesome, awesome video to show anybody. I mean, that should go in your sort of intro to flat earth. That video needs to be very near the top. That is going to be a classic video. I love it.
I am not a flat earther.
I cannot be a flat earth person. That's fucking psychotic.
It was brilliant. It was like 2 or 3 months of your life back in the day, weren't it? Kind of summed up, and you're like, I love it. Keep going, son. Keep going.
Yeah, it was the familiarity that just rang.
Yeah.
Every single flat earther, like, yep, I know exactly what you're going through, man. I've been there. You'll get through it. You'll deal with that for like a month. You'll be thinking that, but you'll get through it. Don't you worry. Now, by the end of the video, my attitude had changed a little. Now, don't get me wrong. I still think that one needs to be right near the top for intro to flat earth videos, right? I don't want to take anything away from what this video says and what it does. That said, I think Owen and Eric have been having communications for quite a while behind the scenes. I think Owen came to the realization that the earth is flat a while ago. I think Owen has not been prepared to sacrifice his subs just yet. And I think that I don't even like to say, but I think it was sort of planned. This seems like theater to me. It seems a lot like theater that Eric are going putting this on. Eric is going to bring Owen around. He is going to get fully on board with flat earth. He's not going to be able to beat Eric in the debate. Eric's going to come in, wipe the floor from him, or he'll forfeit because he knows that there's no proof for the ball, and he will at least, get that far. He will get, I don't know. I just think this is all pre-planned. I think it's semi-scripted, sort of flat, real flat world MTV style.
It's a good way to spread the word.
It's absolutely genius. And if it's theater, if it's scripted and none of it's true, my hat still goes off. Again, it doesn't take anything away from what this video says and what it does to people. I think it's a great, great video. The authenticity of it all just doesn't quite seem to line up with me. But that's just me. I may be completely off base. I could have been completely too stoned when I watched it. Well, I probably could have not been nearly stoned enough when I watched it. It could go either way. I don't know. But that's just how it rang true to me.
I suspect the mind of a
conspiracy theorist as well,
It's the skeptic in me that says the same. But like you say, it's genius. Do you think we could get away with actually playing some of the sound?
I'd say one thing, a kind of a middle ground. And I'd kind of say that he clearly is, as John pointed out, an intelligent man. And I've only listened to him a bit, but he's funny. He's quick thinking, and he's a clever bloke, as he points out himself. And no clever man with the income that he's clearly got from what he's doing. I watched a bit with these super chat coming in, and he's clearly got a significant living coming in from this. So I don't think any intelligent man would enter into this unthought and unplanned. And I would suggest he's probably got a strategy, not just coming out with this. I think this is an opening gambit of going through this. Whether he ends up declaring himself a flat earther or not, I think may be driven by income, sadly. That's what I would say. I hope it isn't, and I hope he's got the guts to follow it through, as much ridicule as there is. And I think there was a part in it where he's saying, "Oh God, please don't let this be true." Do you know what I mean? Please don't give me this one to deal with, as well. So he does strike me from the small exposure I had as a genuine bloke, and I love the way he was just getting rid of trolls and just banning people
That
and
was
that.
so brilliant.
He seems straight up, doesn't he? So I
brilliant.
just hope it, unless of course he enlightens us all and he comes across the thing that he just seemed clearly informed enough to know that there isn't anything there. So unless he's the lucky one that stumbles across it, I'm looking forward to it.
It wasn't just trolls that he was banning. It was just people making stupid statements.
Well,
Any
Arwen
kind
in
of
chat,
ignorant statement, he was like, all right, you're a fucking idiot. You're banned.
Arwen in chat says that, and look, I agree with Arwen when he says this could be it, the beginning. It could very well be that I'm completely off base here, and this is absolutely genuine, and this could be a huge snowball effect. And it could very well be the beginning of the start. We could look back and see, look, this is when everything really kicked off.
Do you think we could get away with playing some of the audio on this?
I'm sure.
Is it still up on Karen's channel?
It is the sort of
That's right.
thing, Josh, isn't it? The sort of character that you hope will
Mm-hmm.
propel it. Do you know what I mean? It's the sort of thing that somebody's got. I mean, how many subs has he got?
Imagine if B.O.B. had done this, or Kyrie Irving had done this.
7,000, I think.
Wow. Read THC Anthony's comment in chat.
You read it. You just
Okay.
have.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess I could. THC Anthony, shout out, by the way, friend. Owen is walking. Oh, I'm sorry. He's probably meant Owen is waking up the blockheads into the realm of the flat earth. He has a plan. He knows it's flat. He's going to meet my wife and children soon. I'll let you know more later. He lives 30 minutes from us. That's amazing.
Wow, that's awesome.
So, yes, please let us know. Get him, get you. Y'all get over here and hang out with us, man. I'd love to chat with this cat.
Yeah, Anthony's actually starting to have hangouts. If you're not subscribed to THC
Go over there and
Anthony,
hang out with him.
I was
Yeah,
watching
he's
The
starting to have
Alchemy
hangouts.
the other night, Zach. Did you see it?
Me too.
It
Yeah,
was wicked. That was just awesome inside that vessel.
yeah. How it was all bubbling and churning.
Yeah,
and,
it was just looked trippy as hell.
Can I play this? Let me know if you
Sorry,
can hear it. Can you hear that?
No, sir.
Nope.
How do I?
What you do is you drop the link in the chat, and I will play it. I
Okay.
think that's how that works.
Yeah, they're still
going
making it
to
real
sort of
hard.
23 minutes in or so. Drop the link in chat. All right. I'll do that.
All
It's
right.
real hard to bring up THC Anthony's channel. You have to put it in exactly. So the best way to do it would be to look in chat right there and just click on his name.
That's exactly what I just did.
Yeah. Because trying to find it, you can have fun and try to find it. Even if you type it in correctly, it'll still bring up another one, and you have to click on, oh, I actually did mean this. They make it really, really difficult. He's been the hardest person I've ever seen trying to find like that. Because if you just put in THC Anthony and even go to channels in the filter, he will not pop up. That just blew my mind. They'll give you all kinds of other names.
Talking
Not
about
everybody's
subs
all
and that,
excited right now.
Zach. Shout out for Arwen. He's been going through emotional turmoil this week, as some of us may have witnessed, as his sub count twats around the 1,000 mark, but never quite getting there. So if there's anyone that's not sub to Arwen, he is in the chat. Click on him. Give him a sub. Give him a goddamn sub, please. If nothing, so that actually I can hear something different next week. Hey, Arwen, mate. 51 watching now, mate. Tell me what your figures are, pal. You had 100, 100 and more, so chill out, dude. And you won't make any money when you get to 1,000. This is the thing, guys, to tell him. He's talking about earning money when he gets to 1,000, as if...
Sorry. Yeah, we had that dream. We all had that dream at one point, I believe, in this.
If you're in this for the money, forget it.
Yeah, just enjoy the ride. That's all you can do.
He was talking about getting a new mobile phone, and mate, it wouldn't even pay your contract. Seriously, dude, don't do it for that.
All right, let's play some of this. We got
Go on,
Gary
Josh.
waiting on us.
Give it a go.
It is the top of the hour. You're correct. Thank you.
Make any sense? Because you are moving when still first. That means absolutely nothing, and we both know it. Drag means nothing. Science can't prove the Earth moves. It literally can't, and this is fucking awful. The guy says it's going 17,000 miles per hour around the Earth. How does NASA dock with it from the Earth going that fast? LMAO. Gravity, that's not an argument. How does water stick to a spinning ball? Research the difference between velocity and speed. I know the difference between velocity and speed. What the fuck does that matter? If we hover over Earth, can we get to a Guys, this is a nightmare. This is literally a fucking nightmare. You cannot prove or disprove gravity. It's based on faith. They're going to shut Owen down at magnetism. I tried to prove the spinning globe. I failed hard. It's so fucking hard to prove. 1,100 miles per hour, but it still takes 24 hours to make one rotation. Well, I don't know. I haven't done the math on that. I really hope Owen can prove the Earth is round. Me too, Penny. Take an astronomy course at your local university. Now you're banned. I've obviously taken an astronomy course. Not an argument.
That's brilliant.
My IQ is small, is higher than any college professor at any of these colleges.
Shout out to Rune Thorson. Thank you, brother.
Owen, we see 2 fights.
Told us to get a pint.
Pleasant, God-inspiring dream. The shadow on lunar eclipse.
Probably enough for 2, so thanks, Rune.
Okay, another weird thing is
absolutely. I was trying to type and I couldn't even get it in there. I was so excited. Thanks. That's amazing.
That is awesome.
Exact eclipse.
What I missed.
We have super chat enabled.
As it waxes and wanes, doesn't the moon shadow?
We just made more there than we've had. Look,
yeah, that's like 6 months worth all in one go.
That's all we've ever done on this whole time in YouTube. Amazing. Thank you.
My astronomy professor came off as a homo.
I'll take it back, Arwen. You make millions.
£5.98 that is. That's 50 Danish kroner, I think. So that's £6.
The Earth is not
Thanks,
flat.
pal. 2 pints there. And that's what we've got planned for the. This is the truth, Arwen, right? This is what we got planned for the Iron Realm Fund. When it's there, when we get there, yeah, hopefully we'll have enough money to have at least a round of drinks for the boys when we meet up. But it'll be saved for that. It'll be saved, too.
Hell yeah.
Well, I think that was hilarious. I think the Owen Benjamin thing is hilarious.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I agree.
It's an act.
Watch the whole show.
Genius.
We got
It's genius.
people on here, so we need to get on with them.
But what I see is someone battling with their internal paradigm that we all did. Well, I didn't, but most people did. Most people say they came into Flat Earth trying to debunk Flat Earth. I didn't. The moment I heard it on that Eric Dubay interview on ISI Chats back in 2015, it answered so many questions and anomalies that I had in my head that it almost, all I had to do was test it. And rest was history.
See where it goes.
So what we need is a pint of beer and 5 straws. And we can all sit around the table and we can all share it at the same time. Wouldn't that be adorable?
Sounds like student days.
I say everything goes to whoever has already donated or used their own money in the show, like yourself, Josh, with the platform that we're on at the moment. You kindly bought a subscription to Zoom, and that's what we're using at the moment. That's why we're so technically inept. And I mean technically
no, you
amazing.
Adept. That's for surely what you meant.
That's exactly what I meant. But yeah, if you just got a donation, then I think that's fantastic. Whoever did that, thank you.
I just want to say it's our second donation today too.
Wow.
We had a listener from TFR who decided to withdraw his whole TFR subscription and just give the whole thing to us. Because usually on a TFR subscription, Chris keeps half and gives us the other half. And that's just sort of how this subscription service works. He pays his hosts to host on his show. You only need to sign up for a subscription with your favorite host, and they will get half of your subscriptions. Well, he decided to withdraw all of his subscriptions from TFR and just support his favorite hosts directly. So he sent us $10 this morning.
Does that mean?
Well, then.
Does that mean he's cancelled his subscription with TFR?
Yeah,
and,
he actually did.
and now
Yeah,
doesn't have the ability to hear your shows.
You can hear the live shows, and you can usually hear, I think, 1 week back, one episode prior for free. If you want to get any older shows, you'll have to then subscribe to either your favorite show or any random show. And then you can have full access to the entire TFR catalog, back catalog of all the shows and all of their past episodes. But just for free, I think you get whatever live and then what's 1 week
And
old.
what's like a week? Well, ours, I guess, because we do 2 a week, you can get 2 in our. Like you can go back 2 shows that are in our archive and listen to them currently, whatever they happen to be.
Josh, just to put that in perspective, then I don't know if the person wants to name him, but thank you. That is nearly all of the Zoom fee paid. That's like 3/4 of it paid, isn't it? That's,
Yeah, look, every little bit helps.
And did you say that was our buddy Pablo? Did you?
That's him.
That's him.
Yeah,
Thanks so much.
Well, I think it's time we get the show.
I think we need to get the people here. They are
yeah.
probably chopping away.
Stop the e-begging.
Well, it's just turned into this amazing generosity for everybody. So we definitely want to show.
And there was a point that I made this morning to Paul because he sent me an email, sent us an email throughout the course of the week when he actually unsubbed from TFR, and told us this and said, "Hey, I couldn't find PayPal. I couldn't find Patreon. I couldn't find anything. I found no way to donate to you guys directly." So I sent him a direct message with our PayPal link saying, "Look, if you want to donate, here's what you do." But really, that's not really where our interest lies. I never expected to be reimbursed the $150 for the year's worth of Zoom. I did it because fuck, I have fun on Fridays. I love it here. I love hanging out with you guys. It is worth every penny that I've paid for it already. So I don't ever expect or need money to get reimbursed for that. I do this because I absolutely love it. I love hanging out with you guys. And this just makes it easier. I mean, the fact that I can get offset, that's awesome, but absolutely not at all where my head is at, where my heart is at, none of that.
Hold on, Adam,
can we get expenses?
Adam, did you just say that you got 75% of the Zoom feedback? I thought you got a $5.
It is a $5.
Listen, that was Rune, £5.98 in Danish kroner. And we're talking about Pavlo, who's given us his $10 subscription.
Well, yeah.
There. What I would say, if we can get reimbursements, mate, I'm streaming the show tonight. My internet's gone. Really good, actually. I'm getting 75 upload speed through my phone. God knows how much data I'm using, but I shall submit an invoice to Iron Realm headquarters.
Make sure you get that on my desk by 5 p.m., please.
Anyway. We're moving on. I think
Can we get Gary and Didi on? Oh.
Please, before this thing goes any further off the rails.
Absolutely. We've got Gary in.
We do. Thank goodness. I just thought we have to get him in here on a whole different thing. I'm used to the whole Skype deal that we could just, they're right there and we pop them in.
Well, Didi's not home yet. So Didi's not ready. So he may want to hang out for 20 minutes and wait for her to come on with him. I'm reading messages on Skype and looking on Zoom, watching him mute and unmute.
But I am here now. It's just a question. Do you want me to come back in 20 or do you want me to stay?
No, come and stay and chat shit with us.
Around.
Stay and have a pint.
Keep us sane. Keep us sane. But for the record, I don't think I've ever heard anyone on IRM begging for money. So just for the record. I have now, yeah.
Could I have
£7? We were so clean. Oh,
Gary, cough up, mate.
Yeah, could I have £7? Because I'm begging for money.
Right.
You can reverse the call charges.
There you go. Make it collect, and we're good.
As soon as you say that you've never heard anyone beg, that's it. That's a rag to a bull, isn't it?
Well, that's what I'd like. That was exactly the point. It was a red rag to the bull for all those miners out there. Go find where we've begged for money ever. I don't think we ever have.
No.
Till tonight.
A
Couple of sound bites that could sound all sorts of dodge.
Sadly.
Right. Our smear video will be out next week on somebody's channel. Well, before the night's over, it'll be up.
Gary, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, all good, thanks. And I would ask you, John, a little bit of like, are you going to put the money where your mouth is? You said in the past that if we did Amsterdam, you'd be very, very interested.
I did. I said I'd be interested. I didn't know if any money obligations were mentioned.
Oh, okay. We just do it as a charity run, shall we?
No, I'd just be very interested.
Oh, okay. This is your cop-out answer, is it?
No, this was the original answer that you just quoted. I'm very interested.
I think it was something along the lines of, "Oh, if you ever did Amsterdam, that would really, really interest me because you were not interested in any other convention, but Amsterdam seemed to tickle you." So
it does. It's almost local, and it's within the duty-free zone. It's a place after my own heart. It's a place I know very well, and I am very interested, Gary.
Yeah. So does that mean that we may be meeting the mighty John Savage?
In the ginger wig.
I'm not saying anything about it.
Have we got a GoFundMe for the ginger wig?
I'll tell you after.
I do not want to GoFundMe. Just don't even go there.
GoFundMe, John Savage, a ginger wig.
No, take this away from me. This is about Gary, the convention, or is it?
I don't think
a conference.
Rune Thornton starting off with the first donation for John Savage. Congratulations.
I think
bugger off. I don't want your donations. Keep your money. Whoever send it back. It won't find its way to me either way.
How much have you got? How much has he sent?
He didn't do it again. I was just making a joke.
I was going to say, could be enough for a set of sideboards at least if he'd put another £6 in.
Nope. That one's to share the pint. I was just making a joke. Trying to rile John up a little bit. Sorry. This is why we need to get Gary in here. Gary's here to just focus us and give us some direction because we're just going to ramble.
Called your bluff, mate.
Okay, what would you like to know?
Well, why don't you tell us about what you're doing this year? Because you're not doing the UK convention this year. You're spreading your wings, and I know you're helping the guys and feeding back and that, but you and Didi are doing this. So just what is your role this year? Because you were the daddy last year, weren't you?
The daddy. Okay, to give you a little bit of background on how we've got to this point, I, without realizing it, one day became a week, became a month, and before I know it, the whole of the summer was not really concentrating too much on Flat Earth. I don't know if it's to do with the convention or I just needed time out. It wasn't a planned thing. It just literally developed into what it ended up being. And I've heard other people have similar things. And I think, I can't remember if Robin Campbell got in touch and asked if I was doing anything, knowing I wasn't, or I wasn't too sure if we were going to do something. But to go back a little bit in history, Didi and I went over to Amsterdam. The first time we ever met, we were actually going around Amsterdam, the city centre, looking at convention places. Because even before the UK convention, we always vowed that we wanted to do something in Europe. But it was like put on the back burner because one, some of the costs that we were given were just ridiculous. And two, we really needed to concentrate on England. So it wasn't shelved, but it was just like mothballed. And so anyway, getting back to Robin, I heard, I think maybe through Roxanne or through somebody else, that he was quite interested in doing something. And I said, yeah, okay, great. What are you thinking? He said he would like to do a convention at the back of the Globe Live Tour. And Didi and I had a chat about it. You know, what did we want to do? Did we really want to do Amsterdam or what? And it really, literally, about 2 months before the Denver convention, we were still not too sure if we really wanted to put in the effort, partly down to home lives and other things. And then it got to a point that I decided to go to Denver and Didi wasn't still sure because of family commitments. And then it became available that she could. And leading up to it, we just felt we really fancied doing something. And obviously, it now looked like the UK was going to go ahead with Robin and Charlotte and Roxanne and Jason, and there were people there. So it was a question of we either do nothing or support the UK or do Amsterdam. And because Didi's always had this pet love of trying to do something, I still was a little bit on the fence. But then when I went to Denver, as soon as I got there and met everyone, because it's not just a question of what you learn there, it's actually the connections. It just became basically a slam dunk that we need to do something. And at the same time, Robin was actually confirming that it was going to happen in the UK as well. And we had a meeting and decided the best way to play things. And so we ended up doing the convention. The only thing we didn't know is when. And Robin wanted to do September. And because of the summer season is not that great for traveling into Europe, and obviously Robbie Davidson's doing November, it was like, oh, when do we actually do this? And it ended up becoming 2 weeks after the UK convention. So here we are.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. At one point, it was going to, yeah, sorry to interrupt. But at one point, we were trying to see if we could do it a week behind, because that way, then anyone coming over from like the likes of Viru, if he's coming, or one from America, then it means they could probably piggyback and try and do the two. But we just couldn't get the dates, so it ended up becoming 2 weeks, which probably helps people in Europe because of the fact of to do 2 conventions on the trot with 2 weeks on the trot, it was not easy. But yeah, this is where we are, and to have 2 conventions is quite big, but it's actually become even bigger now, because I don't know if you know, Adam, I think you do know, Adam, you were in the meeting, but as you know, we've actually, not we as in like Didi and I, but we're helping, but there's going to be a one ginormous global tour that's going to happen at the same time.
Well, do we know? But we're banned from talking about it this half. They are.
But
they are.
they're going to. I've just laid the seeds, but they'll fill in the blanks. But basically, it's going to be a lot when they come onto the show, whenever that is. They're going to be able to fill in a lot of detail, and it's something really, really quite significant that's taken place. So in effect, it's like almost like 3 major projects happening in Europe, of which they're all connected.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier, actually, mate, in terms of the way they're connected and the way they're going to support each other, not only the people involved, but also, I think, from the way in which they're going to gather momentum for each other, and hopefully a bit of advertising and knowledge of the events going off. And so it's great to see. And I was in the meeting, and what I did see in the meeting was Flat Earthers working together. And as you say, nothing's ideal because you can't get dates here and there, but how things have been jiggled by people
because of your wife.
Well, there was that, because my wife's birthday is in the middle, so I am eternally grateful to Gary for pretending that we couldn't get the date the week after in Amsterdam.
17 tubes of toothpaste you owe me, and it has to be fluoride free.
Sold, my friend. Sold.
Only when you make good on the coins, Mr. Heather.
Yeah, but did I say 17 or 27? Sorry. But yes, we have some coins, actually. We do have some.
Have you got a new set of coins for the new convention?
No.
Ah.
No,
well,
we haven't looked into that yet. It may be that we don't. We haven't gone that far yet.
Some medallions or something.
Are you like Macho Man? The thing is, though, John, what's the point of us making these coins and you don't turn up? Because let's face it, you're a bit of a lightweight.
Well, I'm doing it for everyone else, not me. It's nothing to do with me.
You could get a dealer. Try and get Gary. John, if you're going to go, do him for a coin now.
It's something we can talk about.
Do him for a coin.
Yeah, just say, if I turn up, do I get a coin for now?
That sounds like something on the back street. Nottingham, yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit.
Do him for a coin, mate.
Slipped a bit, didn't I? Sorry. I do apologise.
One thing I will do for you, John, is I'll make sure that cafes in Amsterdam will support you. Is that fair?
Cafes will support me.
Yeah, they'll open up their doors to you, and you can then go in there and buy, I don't know, ham, egg and chips.
Yeah. Mate, I'll support you in a cafe if we've been in there long enough.
But when he's falling over.
Yeah.
So, Gary,
Yeah, John.
how are you going to top FEIC 2020? Have you seen that they have a flat Earth cruise plan?
I am very aware. I'm aware of all the things going. Well, I'd like to think I'm aware of all the conventions, really. But yes, I'm very aware of that.
I thought you would be. So I thought you'd be the person to ask. Is there any more details on that? The cruise is all it says. Cruise to. I mean, it's been in RT. It's been on numerous channels.
Telling
from
the
what
truth,
I just
John,
looked.
you want to know whether Jane McDonald's going to be on it, don't you?
I don't even know who that is. I'm afraid. Sorry.
I'll leave
But-
it.
She started off life on a cruise ship. Actually, I think she was doing. She was like an entertainer. So yeah, I must admit, I don't really know. I know of it, and I know that it's going to be in 2020. But I think it's going to be from Florida and going to the Caribbean. Which, if I'm now doing it with an American accent, which I can't do, but I can say it with the intonation, is Caribbean.
Well, that's ridiculous then, because all the news people are saying, beware, you're going to sail off the edge of the earth as though they're going to the South Pole or the North Pole or whatever. So I think you can overdo them by hosting a flat Earth conference as close to the North Pole as possible.
That'd be quite wicked, wouldn't it? Really?
Wouldn't it? In Lapland or something, in one of those ice hotels. How cool would that be?
Do you want to say, John, that you definitely want to do it, and then at a later date you can back out?
I'd certainly be interested, Gary.
He's interested, Gary. That's
What are you interested in backing out later? Have you got a job lot? You went to B&Q and you got yourself a job lot of backing out of. You say something and a little bit later you don't perform.
No reversing lights here, mate. I'm very interested, as you quoted. But yeah, there's an idea.
The only thing is, though,
Lapland.
you need to go to Amsterdam first, just so you can prove to yourself that you can do these conventions.
Yeah, that would be a start, wouldn't it?
Yeah. We'll see if we can.
You'll be so disappointed when you meet me, Gary. You'll be so disappointed.
We'll be saying, is that it?
Yeah.
I do need to ask one question. I've never asked this question, but have you met anyone on your team, like Adam, for instance?
No.
You've never met any of them?
No.
Nearly
Come
there.
to Amsterdam.
No, but you're assuming I want to meet them.
I'll tell you what we'll do. We will hide Adam away.
I've nearly broke him. Gary. Don't worry. I've nearly got him.
Brilliant.
He's working on it.
I think, just change the subject, I think Didi may be close, if not already in.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I will say this: she's actually the main driver on all this. She's done so much work with the website, and she's got it all mapped out how she wants to do it. She's learned so much since the last convention, and I don't know if people realise how far this girl's come. It's absolutely incredible, and she's only just scratching the surface of where I think she wants to go with it. She just really is performing.
We know you do nothing, Gary. Yeah, we got that from the last convention. It's entirely Didi. You're just filling the space until she arrives.
So that's wrong, John. What basically, I've got one role, and I've only got one role, and that is actually to get you to the convention. And I'm trying now.
I'm a bot, mate. It's never going to happen. I'm the most advanced bot on the cyberspace.
Okay.
So, Didi, are you there? Take that as a no then.
Nope, I believe she should be here now. Hello, Didi.
Didi.
I see her there.
She's looking for the mute button.
So she'll get it sorted, I suspect.
I hope her camera's on.
Here she is.
She is.
Ah, there she is.
Hi, Didi.
Did you say that out loud, John?
Hey everybody, how are you all doing?
Hi, Didi. There she is.
Wonderful. How are you doing?
Late night, so I see Zach is knitting again. So funny.
Crochet.
If you're lucky, you might get one done for you because he's going to be coming to Amsterdam.
It'll cost you a
Fingers
coin though.
That's great. Yeah. I would love a, how did Roxanne call it? A beanie? Yeah.
Yeah.
Special type of beanie.
And they're hemp.
Hank's handmade beanies. So, Didi, have your feet touched the ground lately?
What do you mean?
Are you like a duck on water where it looks nice and calm on the front, but your feet are going 1,000 miles an hour underneath?
I'm pretty calm so far, and compared to last time, I was really nervous. But this time, I'm pretty relaxed. I'm enjoying it more this time. I'm more relaxed. But I will get nervous when we get closer to the date.
No, you won't, because it's in Amsterdam. You'll be even more relaxed.
Very relaxed, almost comatose. You can imagine it. Somebody says, "Oh, we've lost a speaker." That's fine. Oh, Didi, do you not understand? Yeah, it's good. It's all good. And you think, "Wow, okay."
Just get the birthday cake out, and it will all get better.
I think some of it though is the fact that Didi did a lot of groundwork leading up to pushing the button. So there's been, and I think Didi also had a lot in place in the past that just got evolved. So she's, as I said, she's really on the money.
Well, good, because Didi, we've spent the last half hour purposely avoiding any detail whatsoever. So.
Have we mentioned anything about the convention? Or
we avoided detail so well this morning on TFR. You would be so proud of us.
Well, I will say we brought to a very fine point the difference between a conference and a convention. So we got that out of the way at least.
Yeah,
I would like to know, so let me know after the show what the difference is.
Yeah, the only thing is, though, Didi, is they just know that there's 3 parts to the whole Europe thing, as in obviously the Global Tour, what they're going to talk about in next week, I suppose, and also the UK convention. And obviously we're looking after the Amsterdam. And all I did is I just explained on how, like, you and I met first time in Amsterdam, why, and the fact that we were not too sure over the summer for different reasons, and then it just evolved, basically going around Denver, and how we both got the mojo back, really. So that's all they know. Apart from John just reneging on his promise, that's it, really.
Oh, it was a semi-committal.
I'd like to hear that promise.
He needs to be committed.
It was probably on air.
Somebody is in the back catalog even as we speak. They will find it, John. Don't you worry.
I choose my words very carefully. I am still very interested. But yes, Didi, please give us some details. Details, please.
So as Gary said, we found our mojo back, and we're really excited to bring a large group of people back together. And that's why we decided to do another convention. But this time, because the last time it was close to Gary's home, this time I wanted to try something closer to my home. And we both agreed that Amsterdam would just be the perfect location. So, and the good thing about Amsterdam is we already talked about it last year when we were in Birmingham, and me and Gary visited Amsterdam. I think it was the first weekend we met, actually. So we had a little history with Amsterdam. So we decided to go back there, and that's how it all started. And now it turned into a full weekend of a convention where we will have a big party and like a really cozy gathering on the Friday with a little act there. We're going to have Jason presenting the Globe Light Tour. That's probably been mentioned. And of course, we're going to have a small party after that. So, and then the Saturday, we want to have a whole day of debates, because last year we learned that the physicist debate, we just had so much fun and we wanted to spend a lot more time doing something like that. So we dedicated a whole day to that. And then this Sunday, we're going to have a couple speakers, which we announced a couple of them today as well. So it's going to be a whole weekend planned out, and it's going to be in the center of Amsterdam. So people who love Amsterdam, they cannot miss out.
So Amsterdam's your hometown, is it, Didi?
No, I live in Belgium. That's about 2 hours away from Amsterdam, which is still pretty close. But it's like, everybody knows where Amsterdam is. A lot of people don't even know where Belgium is.
Oh, yeah. And these physicists, these debates, I agree. I think they were one of the best one of the best shows that you had on in the UK convention. But please, you will send them a little leaflet or a link to how a gyroscope works. Yeah.
Maybe Gary can tell you a bit more how we did it last year and how we're planning to do it this year.
Cool.
Because the physicist debate was something he really wanted to do, and we took a little gamble on it, and it paid off. And I think everybody agreed that it was something different, and we kind of want to build to do it like the next level debate. So that's something that Gary been working on for this convention. I'm doing mostly the Sunday with the speakers, and I'm focusing on the website and all those things. And Gary is doing most the debate questions.
So Gary, have you got Neil deGrasse Tyson in stocks in the foyer of the hotel?
All I will say is that the end is nigh.
It's been nigh for a while, hasn't it? Yeah.
What about having a gyroscope sitting there spinning at the registration booth or the door coming in and going out?
Great
and you
idea.
can show how it doesn't change at all the hours that they're there.
I'll tell you what, we'd need a custom-built gyroscope, wouldn't we? With really like good tolerances and low friction and everything. Maybe FE Core could fund it. That'd be awesome.
It's already being built.
Oh, you're joking, right, Gary? Build the beans.
Yeah. The only thing is, though, John, we really do need somebody that we can trust to look after it, and I think I nominate you.
Yeah.
I second that nomination.
It'd require a commitment, though, wouldn't it, Gary? To be there to look after it, surely.
Do you know what, you've got me there. Yeah, you're right. Unfortunately, what we need a man.
Yeah.
So,
not a bot.
Not a robot, right?
Not a bot. Not a fake PO box. Need a proper man with a proper ginger wig.
That's it.
And some proper teeth.
John, have you ever been on the show and you've accidentally had your camera on and then realised?
Never.
Oh, loads of times. Have you not seen it? You'll have to send your internet minions back to find them.
Yeah, if you go back and troll some of our old shows, you can see it does happen on occasion, but you'll just see a big red screen. Even when that happens, it's still nothing.
But,
you're unusually obsessed with me.
Yes, I am. I think it's and it's not on the physical front. I've got to be honest. Well, apart from you turning up physically,
well, you wouldn't know. You don't know what it look like physically.
It's all the physical.
Could be a dream come true.
Presence.
Well, I just think that you're just an enigma, really. Do you exist? You sound like you exist, but do you?
This path has driven many.
My hands are on YouTube, mate.
There's
and my eyebrow.
But we want your hands to be on the gyro in Amsterdam.
Oh, look, you got Rob Durham for that. He's a qualified helicopter pilot. For crying out loud, he owns a directional indicator from a plane. He's way better at making videos than me. He actually likes turning up to these things. So,
and he did actually turn up at the UK convention as did Adam and like the likes of Zach in America. So some of your guys on this panel actually perform
and have balls.
John,
I know what you're saying. Gary. But it would be good to get Rob Durham on the panel against the physicists or against a pilot. Bring a
let me get you out of this one, John. Right, but there is something that instead of a gyroscope that is being planned. It's me and Zach's had preliminary talks, and I have seen space that we've got for mine and Zach's little attempt to do something there. So there will be something. I'm not going to go into too much because we haven't even got a sketch really, but I've been shown how much space we've got, Zach. I still think we're working with a pool table, but I still think it's doable with 3 different optics to get a demonstration of some of your Rayleigh's criteria and stuff. So we have got a little plan, something to maybe fill the foyer. If there was a foyer, really, are we able to see the venue, Didi? Or
yes, I'm working currently on a little trailer which is supposed to come out in I think maybe 2 weeks, and it has some footage of the venue. But in April or something, we're planning on to going back, and then we will get more decent footage, because this was mostly for me to have a chat and to agree on all things and not to film everything. I was there by myself, so next time Gary's coming too, and then we can do some more filming. But I'll get you a little trailer in.
Have you got an address?
Yes.
Hotel?
So the thing is, we're gonna have two different venues for the Friday party. We're gonna do it in a little bar. It's called the Havelaar Café.
Can you spell that?
HAVELAAER. It's on our website, feconvention.com. You can find the exact address and the name. It's a little bar in the center of Amsterdam. It holds about 180 people. And then for the main event, we're going to the public
Before we
live.
get to the main event, Didi, that Friday night, what do we know? What we know about that other than there's a party?
Well, the Friday nights, we're going to start around 7 and end about midnight, because the last ferries and subways, they leave like 12:30. So we want to keep that in mind as well. We're going to start with a little opening, and then we're going to have a little show, which will be announced in a couple of weeks as well. After that, Jason from the Globe Lightyear tour will tell us about their travels in Spain and France. And then we're going to have a little open mic, because that's something we tried in Birmingham, and it was very successful. A lot of people wanted to stand up and talk a little bit. So we're giving people a chance to do an open mic session. And Patricia Steer will be hosting that open mic session. And then after the open mic, we're going to have a great DJ, which we will announce as well.
Sounds good.
It's on a need-to-know basis. There's every 2 weeks there's somebody coming out.
I couldn't believe how well, not to change the subject too much, but I know you were there, Didi. I think you were there for a while too, Gary, at the tavern Saturday night.
In Denver?
Yeah, we were both there. Yeah, we were there all evening.
The amount of talent, people could sing so well. I was blown away. I thought we were going to have, local karaoke at the, I don't know. I couldn't believe how well some of those people could sing.
There's a lot of talent. Yeah. I think it was great that they had like a little party after that. But for Amsterdam, because we're going to do the party before the main convention, it's a good chance for people to just get to know each other on a fun base without having the whole big event. And I like the party idea. So we're trying to combine all the best from what we've learned so far.
Also, Didi and I have been having lots of back and forth chats that we were thinking about at one point it was going to be on the Saturday, but it just makes it a very busy 2 days. Whereas this way, then people can turn up, and if they're there, they can come if they've got a ticket, and if they do not arrive early enough and they just want to do the convention the next day, then they have that choice. But it just means on the Saturday evening, then people will just do their own thing. But invariably, I think there'll probably be big groups of us going around Amsterdam, going into some of the bars. And I think, as and when we meet up with people, that could add a little bit of value as well.
What you see on the screen here is the little bar itself, but then you have another level on the top floor where we can do the DJ, and it's like a little dance room. So it's two separate parts for people who just want to have a drink and hang out. They can sit in the bar, and people who want to enjoy the show or dance, they can go up to the first floor.
And I think it's a great idea having like a little, like you were saying, a little get together before the convention even starts. It's easier to break the ice when you've had a drink or two,
Yeah, and this one is really in city center. The convention itself, it's a little more on the border of the center, but this is main center. So it takes about 10 minutes to go from this venue to the central train station.
Look at the mud flood on there. Look at the mud flood on them buildings. Shocking.
Waiting for it.
I couldn't help it. I was trying not to say anything.
Mud flood on the brain, Adam.
It's getting there. I think so. Bit of soil's got in the ear.
Now that you're showing the map of Amsterdam, it's important for people to know that Amsterdam is really made for tourists and people visiting. So there's public transport everywhere. You can do most things just by walking, but if you want, there's also subways, there are buses. They have free ferries that go from the center to the campsite itself. There's just public transport everywhere. You can also rent a bicycle and just discover the city with a bike, because I do not recommend driving in the center.
Zoom out a bit, John.
No, I wouldn't recommend riding in the centre unless you've lived in Amsterdam for at least a decade. It is a death trap. Even walking in the centre, if you visited a cafe, is an absolute death trap. It would take me at least 10 minutes to cross a road just to double check I wasn't going to get run over by trams or bikes or for walking into a canal. But it is, I mean, this is literally 10 minutes from Central.
Didi, can you just guide John to where the event is?
Well, it's here.
Yeah, that's the Friday venue, and then when you go to the water, you see this that's a train station, and then on the right side we have the main venue. So everything is within this little circle.
What, we're down here?
A little across the water. Up. Yeah. By the DoubleTree Hilton Amsterdam, it's on the corner on the water on the right side.
Other side of the river, John.
Over here?
Other side of the river, yeah.
Oh, I stayed on it.
He was correct.
I stayed on a canal over there. This is Amsterdam Central, isn't it? The train station.
Where your mouse is right now, there was the main venue center. It's called OBA Theater.
I could probably put that in, couldn't I?
Maybe what we can do on subsequent weeks is that we can actually be, discussing the latest releases and talking about like the debate aspects and different specifics. So I don't know if that works for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
All the practical information you can find on the website as well, addresses, maps, and if you buy a ticket, I will send you a document with all public transport options and a map where everything is exactly. So
there you go, John.
There you go.
Perfect for you, John.
And what is that website?
FEconvention.com.
Lovely. Wow, that looks lovely. I don't think I've been. Probably got lost and found that place, but.
So that is the Public Library of Amsterdam. It's the biggest in Europe. So that's 5 floors of books, and the theater room is on the top floor.
Sweet.
And we hold about 260 people for the theater room.
I wonder if we can go in.
You can, I have a picture of the inside on the website if you're interested to see.
Well, I could go in your tiny little coffee shop, but I can't seem to go in here.
It's a public building.
Oh, there we go. Ooh.
It's sneaking through the window.
Yeah. Spider-Man.
It's a beautiful building.
It's a lovely building, isn't it? Really nice.
It is important, though, for people to know, because this is the public library, that we cannot allow any form of activism or stickering on the wall, because people are reading books there. It's a library, so
right.
Thing to consider.
Selfie stick. Yeah, very cool. I like the look at that. And so central as well. Really cool.
Everyone who's seen the main... sorry, John.
No, go ahead.
No, I say everyone who's actually seen the actual photograph of the actual main hall have been pretty impressed. I think you've seen it, haven't you, Adam?
Yeah, fantastic.
Yes.
Very modern, isn't it? I don't know. It doesn't look very old at all, to be honest, and it looks well kitted out, and it looks like the sort of place that you're just gonna have to plug and play. Do you know what I mean? Not like the setup issues of last.
Well, Didi, obviously you can go into more detail here, but when we were looking at it in the past, we were hitting some brick walls, whereas when Didi went back, she came across different locations and just came across this one, and in spending the time getting it right, because what we had to do with Birmingham, we didn't actually go there for the first time until January, whereas Didi's been doing a lot of groundwork to try and all the things we've learned from the last time. And we're not saying that we're going to do a perfect convention, but we're definitely aiming to do something significant, and things are so much easier second time around, partly down to the fact of our knowledge and partly down to the fact that we're connected to so many people now, and it's actually quite refreshing, really.
I put a link in the Skype chat where you can see inside the building and you can see the theater room. It's really lovely. A little practical information: the main venue is a 10-minute walk from the train station, so it's really easy to get to.
Link in the chat.
In the Skype chat. Yeah, we had a previous venue, but it didn't work out. So I went looking all over Amsterdam, and this is just a beautiful place. It's a theater room, so it's already set up, so everybody has a wonderful view. There's no chairs we have to move around. I'm very, very excited. I'm very happy with this one.
We're not on Skype.
They're like nice, comfy cinema chairs, aren't they? It's not like a arranged room. It's a purpose-built auditorium, I suppose, is the.
I put it in the Zoom chat. That's maybe easier.
Oh, I got it now.
Yes, it is. It is built for congresses. So this is the theater room, which will be the room for the main venue. And if you scroll down a little bit, you will have an option to see inside the building itself as well. So everybody will have a great view. We have a projector screen in the back where all the speakers, and we will project everything we need. So the sound is installed, the lighting is there. I think it's perfect for what we're trying to do, and a big improvement with all we have learned so far.
It looks really nice.
We've got the side bits, Zach.
Actually, if you look really closely, you can actually see where John's going to sit.
Can you not reserve him a spot now? John, pick a seat. Pick a seat, mate. Go on.
Say a number.
I'll probably be here. Cafe Heather there. That looks like my sort of place. Definitely. Oh, oh, obsession, Gary. Obsession.
I know. Nice
Can
name
you
for a
zoom
perfume.
out and take us to the accommodation now, Didi? Well, we've got the map on.
So for the accommodation, Amsterdam itself, it's a really expensive city if you want to stay in hotels or even the hostels. They're about 60 to 80 euros for a night. So I know this little campsite just outside of the city center, which is very affordable. You're in the middle of nature. It's a wonderful little beautiful campsite. And we thought it was a great idea if we go for a campsite and we get a lot of people staying there as well, then we can have like a little campfire party, you know, after the event. Everybody's in the same location. That's the goal, the idea we're wanting to do. It's called Camping Vliegenbos. And I will put a link in the chat so you find it easier.
That sounds.
I will just put the convention link because you can have. So the campsite they offer, you can bring your own tent and do it like really cheap for like 30 euros for a night with a tent. Or you can do the camper van. You can have a little cabin. You can do a little teepee. There's also big groups houses. This campsite offers a lot of different options. And it is about 8-minute walking to the subway from the campsite. And then when you take the subway, it takes you to the city center within 3 minutes. So all in all together, when you go from the campsite to the main venue, for example, it will take you about 20 to 25 minutes with public transport. But you can also walk for free if you like walking. It's about 35 minutes then.
I'm just waiting for that link to come into the chat. Seems quite delayed, this chat.
35 minutes, Didi.
If you wanted to go for free, that means you would walk from the campsite, take the free ferry, and then walk from the train station to the main venue, which will take about 35 minutes.
2-spliff walk.
Yes.
So, John, you're still not seeing the link because I have it.
No.
Here. I wonder why it's not getting to you.
Feel free to share it. But I know why you probably won't.
I'll break everything if I do.
Yeah. But I didn't get that. I didn't get that last thing. I got the ABA as the last one I've got. Oh, there we go.
There it goes.
All right. Let's, share that.
So on the campsite, the whole core team and all of our speakers, we will all stay on this campsite. So we hope that people attending will do the same thing because it's just the cheapest option there. It's very, very relaxed atmosphere. It's not in the busy city center. So I think there's only good things about this accommodation. But of course, if people want to stay somewhere else, you're free to do so.
You said €100 or €80 a night to stay in the hostels. That's bloody changed. Good grief. €20 was what I was paying last time I went.
Where'd you get that from, John?
Well, you stagger off the train, you go up to the nearest thing that said stay here, and you walk in and they give you a tiny little room.
I see. You're on about the places that are available in the city centre now.
Yeah, the hostels. They were just shared rooms and things, really. You've been there, you know what it's like.
Weren't that cheap? I had a grotty room or two. Even then, they weren't cheap. They weren't like.
So I don't mean to interrupt real quick.
Florins. They were. Sorry. Go ahead, mate.
I said I'm going to have to interrupt real quick. We are joined by a very special guest at the moment. I just wanted to make sure we got him in while we could. Just want to say a quick hello to Jason Lindgren, the Secrets of Saturn show co-host with Crow 777. Jason, welcome.
Welcome, Jason.
Hey, Jason.
Hi, Jason.
Nope, looks like I missed him. He was right here in the waiting room. I saw him.
Click away, Josh.
Literally, you were literally one click away.
That's it.
That's all right. Now. I will send him an email back.
If it's a doer space, I've got to pop off for about a quarter of an hour. I can always come back and then try and get back on.
No, it's nothing to do with space. We can get loads on here, I think.
Zoom's got loads on it.
I'm still not. I mean, I'm seeing a link to accommodation, but not sort of an address of where the campsite is. Have you got something that I can whack into Google Maps or whatever? And
I will send it to you right now.
Okay, cool.
Really nice, John. Really kind of cool because you've got Amsterdam there, and then you've got this nice place to actually chill out.
Is this it? Pioneer Centre? No, that's Kidderminster. That ain't no Amsterdam.
I put a link in the Zoom chat as well for the address for the campsite.
Excellent.
So there you can. There's cabins, isn't there? And there's camping and camper vans and caravans. That's an issue. Is it welcome as well? And
Yes, you can bring your camper van, you can bring a tent, or you can go for a teepee or a cabin. There's a different price range for everybody. But the important thing with the cabins is it's for 4 people. So, for example, to get a cabin for 3 nights, it would cost you about 70 euros per person for 3 nights.
I don't know if I'm sure.
so about $30, well, less than that, 25 euros a night.
Yeah, something like that. Yes. For the cabins, the teepees are a bit cheaper. You have a different option for everybody, but we're mainly looking at the cabins at this point.
Okay, so
That's
it's
it, John.
north from Central, from the train station. So it's over the canal and just north of the centre.
Yeah, so if you arrive at the train station, it will take you about 15 minutes to get to the campsite if you would walk.
Looks lovely. Dishever. Ooh, yeah, it does look nice.
So those are the little cabins, for example.
Yeah,
How's mine, John?
little smokehouses.
They all have they have 4 beds, so it's 2 bunk beds in each cabin.
Very cool.
Yeah, if you compare the very busy city center, this is just a quiet spot to relax and get together in the evening. It's a lovely place.
That sounds like my kind of place.
There's the park over the road, isn't there? Lot?
Yeah, big park over
Get
there.
in there.
There's about 5 or 6 parks in Amsterdam. There's a lot of green there. The biggest one are in the south of the center.
Stayed on a canal boat.
Yeah, so there's a free ferry that drives about every 10 minutes. It goes up and down, and it takes about not even 2 minutes to get from one side to the other with the ferry. You can also take your bikes for free on the ferry if you would rent a bike.
I spent many an afternoon in this park.
It's all walkable though, isn't it? All of the venues and the accommodation.
Everything is walkable. It max 20 minutes to 30 minutes, depending how fast of a walker you are. But you always have to take the ferry to cross the channels. There's water everywhere in Amsterdam. There's a lot of little channels, but to cross this big one, there's about 3 ferries in the middle and on each side. So it doesn't matter where in the center you are, you can always find a ferry.
I had to walk 15 minutes for a decent kebab shop in Birmingham, Didi, so that's nothing really.
So we somehow managed to miss Jason, but we do have Travis with us. I say that, but I'm pretty sure
you ruined it. I was going to pretend to be Jason.
No one would have known.
Hello, what? Ready for it?
there it is.
Sorry, sir. Sorry.
Hey, settle down, guys.
Hey, guys.
Thanks.
How's it going, Trav? Sorry,
I'm busy dicking about, so I'm going to stop sharing and concentrate. How you doing, Travis?
I'm good. Am I coming through okay? The truck I'm in right now is a little bit loud.
Yep, no, you sound pretty good here.
Sounds
A bit quiet, maybe.
Yeah, like I said, I was just going to jump in and pretend to be Jason for a second. Figured I'd give you some filler.
Well, filler, we're all out of filler.
Well, Phil,
guys.
yeah,
We
Phil,
don't need to fill.
you were responsible for getting Jason on in the first place. So
Yeah, he and I had a nice hour and a half chat today that I'm going to be able to use for my Red Hen Radio. We talked a little bit about his background with looking into the Saturnalia cult, the death of Saturn, death cult Saturn stuff. That's stuff that I've never even thought of. So it was just great discussion, great talk. He's, just a treasure of outside of the box thinking, and so yeah. So he helped me blow off some steam today. I was you guys and I we talked a couple days ago, and I've still been riding the emotional, physically, mentally draining roller coaster of having been arrested and kidnapped and thrown into a cage for 9 hours, coming out thinking, what the hell, how am I going to get it? What did I do? I should have never poked the bear. Like Anthony says, poke the bear.
So you're having second thoughts, are you?
No, I'm not. It's just exhausting. It's taxing on the mental state, the emotional state, because there's no trusting the state to do what's right. And I experienced that firsthand on Tuesday when I was in trial for traffic. And, basically I stood up and presented myself. I was my own counsel, which I highly recommend for everybody. Come on, everybody, you need to do this at least once, okay? You need to at least stand up and defend yourself in court at least once in your life. I made my case. I said, I am not arguing the merits of the action. I'm not questioning what I did. I'm asking you for proof that your codes and statutes have any jurisdiction over me. And the prosecuting attorney did nothing but argue the merits of the action, driving home the point that I completely violated their codes, and therefore I'm guilty. And at the end, the judge said, "Yep, we have codes, and if you're in the state of Delaware, you're breathing our air, they apply to you."
Right, because personal jurisdiction and subject matter jurisdiction are the exact same thing.
Yeah. So, it's always I was talking to myself this whole week, but I was thinking, you know what? I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it. And if I represent myself respectfully and responsibly, and I still get railroaded, then I'll take it. I'll take it because I know that it's injustice that's coming my way, and not the fact that I had failed on my part.
So just to catch everybody up to speed, let them know what happened and what you actually.
Okay. Well, I'm newly divorced. It'll be a year this May, but it all basically started in January. So I was on my own, and I knew where things were going, and I just started to rethink my life and rethink what I was going to invest my time in, what I was going to stand for, and I just decided that I was going to start to stand on my own 2 feet in terms of not living in fear with the powers that be. And the first step that I took was to purchase 2 vehicles and not register them to the state. So I was driving around with 2 vehicles that had vanity plates on them that said private, that I had gotten from the anti-government website, and I was driving around. I got pulled over once, and I conducted myself very well. I asked the officer if I could help him. If he had an emergency, I'd be glad to help. And he asked me my papers, and I said, "Do you have probable cause to pull me over?" And he said, "Well, yeah, you don't have any license plates." I said, "Well, is that a crime? Is there a crime being committed? Do you have a warrant issued by a judge that you're executing?" And he said, "Well, no, the probable cause is the fact that you're violating the state code, that you don't have a license plate." And I said, "Is that a crime?" He said, "Yes, it is a crime." So it all becomes an issue of vocabulary. And, you know, I'm actually facing trial next month regarding that snafu. That's on Valentine's Day, actually, February 14th, interestingly enough, is my court date. Now, I'm going to try to settle out of court, filing paperwork, and come to some agreement with the prosecutor and see how that goes. But anyway, so that started the ball rolling. I got my vehicle stolen from me and impounded, and then I had to pay the extortion rate for the garage that stole my vehicle at the command of the police state. And so, yeah, that just started the whole thing. And just seeing the interaction, how I conducted myself, I felt confident. And so this last Saturday, I had outstanding citations from a follow-up stop with those. Well, not, I'm sorry. I hadn't paid those citations, and so the state then suspended my license, and I was driving around on a suspended license. So when I got stopped this time, it had been a year since I'd gone through my script, and I totally forgot what I should say.
It's like learning a language, Travis, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You got to practice this stuff, or you just get rusty.
Yeah, you got to get pulled over every day.
Pretty much. You got to go looking for it, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly. So I still handled myself very well. I didn't lose my cool. I didn't raise my voice. I wasn't argumentative, and I basically was asking the police officer the entire time, "Am I obligated to incriminate myself? Do I have the right to remain silent?" He said, "You know, we don't need you to speak. We just need you to give us your driver's license." And I said, "Well, my property is protected under the Fourth Amendment, and if I, you know, technically, what's interesting, if they read you your Miranda rights, right? The thing that they say is anything you say or what's the next one?
Do,
which would be handing you my papers. Yes, that's correct. So if I do hand you my papers, I would be incriminating myself. So I'm not going to give you my papers." And he basically reached into my window and grabbed a hold of my window with both of his hands, punched his shoulders like he was going to rip the window out of its socket. All the while, the other officer was on the passenger side with his baton extended and waving it as if he was going to bash my window in. And I said in a loud voice, "Am I being threatened with violence? Is this a threat of violence? Because I'm under duress. I'm afraid for my life. Am I being threatened?" He said, "Listen, you can either come out peacefully or we'll drag you out." So I said, "Okay, here's my license."
I mean, as far as I know, in the UK, you're not obliged to carry your papers, please, with you. So I don't know where they stand on that front.
Well, that's where I'm going to invest my time in that, because I've spoken with two gentlemen. You guys know the one, Issa Mahalski. I spoke with him today. And I spoke with a guest on Pro 777. His name is Alphonse. And both of them offered some fantastic perspective. Again, people who are listening, you simply need to know that you can do this. You can be equipped with the knowledge that you need to stand on your own 2 feet. If you know how to argue, you know how to make a point, you know how to ask a poignant question, you can do this. You know, there are some people that can't get up and speak in public. Yeah, you can't do it. And so that's another matter. But if you have the wherewithal to be able to present yourself, you can do this. So what's interesting is, and if I need to stop talking for Jason and you want Jason to come on, let me know at any time. I don't need to hold the floor, so I can yield at any time. But,
well, it's almost break time, so
okay,
almost by like 10 minutes.
Okay, all right. But so, for instance, when I've got my citations from my arrest on Saturday, where they wrote me up for like 14 violations, and on the citation, it gives me 3 options as to how to handle it. I can plead guilty, I can plead not guilty, and I can plead no contest and look for a trial. So that's all they tell you to do. And that's what I thought. That's all you could do. But that's not all you can do. That's not your only remedy. They just don't tell you what the other remedies are. So for the people out there, I'm going to be working on my show, Redhead Radio. I've had like 3 or 4, or maybe, I'll just say 3 or 4 phone calls this week that I'm going to publish on my show that's going to be informative in this area. And you just need to know that there's another option for you to come to a peaceful agreement with your accuser. And the reason why everyone else,
Travis, can you get a little closer to your mic? Your
okay, sorry.
That's cool. That's cool.
Is that better?
Yeah, no, that's great, and I'm totally with you. There's plenty you can do if you know what you're doing.
But the problem is we're not informed.
Yeah.
And so everyone in the courtroom on Tuesday was just bending over and kowtowing and begging the mercy of the court, and it was just an atrocious debacle. I was just sitting there thinking, this is absolutely pathetic. I wish that I could have had all of these people in a room and gave them a pep talk before they came in here and said, use this script. Say everything that's on this script and continue saying it until the judge dismisses this, because, it was just, and the thing about it was the judge was the religious pontiff who was basically saying, I accept your apology, my child, and I agree that you're guilty, and here's your fine. You may go on your way. And it was just this pathetic hubris of, it was so disgusting. Anyway, I'm going to be working as hard as I can to get this information out.
It's quite embarrassing that we let ourselves be treated this way, but what I'm sort of realizing is that people, although they realize they're being mistreated, but they just don't have the fight. They don't want to change. They just want to be left alone is what people want. Left alone.
That's right.
They don't want to have to fight this. They don't want to have to read a million books. They don't want to have to get
That's right.
a neo-like download in their head of all law books and everything. I mean, it's just leave us the hell alone.
Yeah. Well, ultimately, the matter is, it's this way. If you and I had a disagreement, if I damaged your property and we couldn't come to an agreement, then you and I would present our controversy to the judge, who would act as a mediator between the two of us. That's all he's doing. He's just saying, okay, you say your side, you say your side, And so we actually are two people who have a conflict that we can't resolve, and so we ask for someone else to help us, right?
Traditionally, yeah. I mean, it's just an administrative role, and the jury would have been the ones that made the final pronouncement, the verdict.
Yeah.
But that doesn't happen anymore.
That's right. That's right. And that's an interesting aspect, too, to think about that, whether or not you can just ask for a trial by jury. But so what happens is that those avenues get circumvented in the process, and the state becomes the conflict causer. He causes, or the state causes the conflict. And until you make a statement toward that conflict, there is no controversy. There is no conflict. If you don't address the controversy or the conflict, it doesn't exist. And
well, there's no victim, is there?
That's correct.
They are playing the part of victim by just creating rules.
Right. But then they're just codes and violations. They're not personal injury, and there's not property damage. So that's one of the things that Alphonse said in your paperwork that you're going to file. One of the points that you're going to bring up is say, where's the controversy? Where's the claimant? Who's my accuser? And where's the damage? Because I'm ready to face my accuser. I'm ready to question my accuser. And if there's anything that needs to be remedied, I'm ready to do it. So where is he? And the state can't produce a victim because it's a code violation. It's not a personal injury. But we don't know that. We just think, well, we violated this code. Yeah, we did it. We're sorry. We did wrong. We're sorry. We're guilty. And then when you do that, they're like, yeah, we got you. We got you. And then you have to pay because you verbally consented. So it's just a matter, you know, it's I mean, there is an aspect of where there's legality and loopholes in the fact that you can entrap yourself where in a way that's not the way it normally happens in personal relationships. So that if I had a conflict with you and I misspoke, that would be an issue of communication. That wouldn't be an issue of entrapment or what's the word I'm looking for? Where I incriminate myself. And then I'm obliged to now pay you a fine because I actually said something that I misspoke. But the court system is set up in such a way that that's the way it functions. That if you do misspeak in such a way, that does obligate you to, fall under their jurisdiction. And then once you've done that, then you are obliged. But I mean, I think that once people see, you know, when we talk about this, I think we talk about flat Earth. I think the one thing that we would all agree on is that when you take a step back and you look at flat Earth, I think the two words that come to mind is common sense. This is just common sense. This makes too much sense. And so when you actually look at what I'm going to try to promote and publish from what I've learned, when you see it the way I saw it when I was having these conversations, I was just thinking, this is too easy. This is common sense.
Common law, common sense, isn't it? It's synonymous, really. But I think we've been joined by Jason Lindgren.
We have been joined by Jason Lindgren, and I managed to get him in this time. So,
hello, am I on? Is this working?
This is it, Jason. Welcome very much to the Iron Realm.
Thank you. I really appreciate the invite.
Oh, we are so excited to have you.
Hey, Jason. Good evening, Jason.
Hey, Travis.
Hey, Jason. John Savage here. Been long time listener to you and Crow, and great to have you on. Yeah, really good.
Pleasure to meet everyone who's here. This is awesome. By the way, Travis, to finish up a point on what you were saying about the court, what you're doing is you're accepting responsibility for the corporate identity that the court is coming after you, because it's an admiralty court, it's corporate law. So when you say, yes, I'm Travis, boom, they've got you, because that statute is now applying to that corporate identity. At least that's the way I understand it.
I'm with you on that front, Jason.
That's the only entity that exists in that court. You've not, when you engaged in that court with those documents, that was what was presented trial in that court. You didn't go in first of all and declare that that isn't you. So the proceedings that took place of with this fictitious character in, as Jason says, the Admiralty Court.
Right. So
and that's the trouble. Once you're engaged, you kind of the skill is not engaging or engaging in that way where you do engage only accept to engage with under your conditions. And
yeah, and then just to go back real quick and reiterate what
mouse on the wheel.
Sorry, it's my squeaky.
Sorry,
truck.
Travis, carry on.
No, I apologize.
No, yeah, cool. Carry on.
My only point that I'll make, and then I'll mute for Jason. But that's what I'm saying. The Admiralty Court is the fictional existence. So that's not the way you and I would behave with each other. We would talk man to man. There's no hidden agenda. There's no hidden slip up like, oh, you said this and now you're completely obliged to this matrix. That's not the way people operate with each other. That's not the way normal people who want to just live at peace with each other behaves. We don't create this construct and wait for you to slip up so that we can, slip a noose around your neck. But the construct of the Admiralty Courts is intended to destroy. It is not intended to maintain peace. I yield the floor.
Truth. Well, Jason, Do you have a couple minutes? We were going to go to break, and I don't want to rush through this. I really want to take some time and hear this shoot the moon stuff and all this cool stuff you got going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Well, then we will take a break, kill this live stream so it's not too terribly long on the back end, and we will restart it in just a few minutes. I know Adam should be on that.
I'm all good to go. I just want to do a quick recap, and then if you've got the tunes, I've got the clouds, Josh. But yeah, can we maybe just do a quick recap then? Let's wrap this up, and just if Didi, if you could.
Yeah, it's
maybe
1:30 for
summarise
me
for us.
at night, so I'm going to bed soon.
Understandable. We appreciate you spending a little bit of time with us, though, Didi. I know you just got home and had to jump right on, so we appreciate you hanging out with us.
Yeah, thank you, Didi.
Well, thank you for sharing. We have some lovely news, so if I could just finish off to give a little overview, and then I will let you guys continue for the rest of the show.
Brilliant. Cheers, Didi.
Once you've introduced the cat, can't bring a pet on and not say who it is.
This is Trixie, one of my cats. I have two of them. They're always wanting to be in front of the camera for some reason.
Evening, Trixie.
Thank you so much, Didi, and we'll definitely stay in touch about getting you over on the ironworks in the morning with us, or the afternoon, or whatever it is for you over there.
Yes, thank you so much, guys. So I just want to finish out and say that the Amsterdam Convention is going to be taking place the 27th until the 29th of September. And so far we have Jaren coming to the event. Roxanne will be a speaker. We have Patricia Steer hosting. We have Gary John. We have Robbie Davidson also attending. Adam, you're going to be there as well.
I saw it today, Didi, on the website. Thanks, mate. I showed my wife tonight. I said, look, there's that picture of me.
Oh yeah, you helped us out so much with the last event. We had to invite you as a guest, so it only made sense. And then, of course, the last one for today was Jason from the Globe Light Tour. He will be joining us as well. And in 2 weeks, I will have the first debater name coming up. So we'll keep in touch, and I'll let you know more news when it comes out.
Yeah, that's another good thing to reiterate is you guys will be releasing more names as we go throughout the months. Every 2 weeks, you're going to release someone else who's going to be showing up there because we got 9 months to go. So there's still a lot of prep, a lot of work to go into this. So hats off to you. This is no small feat you guys are undertaking.
Well, thank you. We enjoy it very much. And there's a lot of people already lined up. We're just taking the time to make sure everything is correct. So in 2 weeks, we will have a new name, and we will continue for the next months until it's September, which is not that long.
No, it's not.
Josh, I'm always a big fan on synchronicity. Maybe we can. Tonight's been an odd one. I put a feeler out for Crow, Jason, to say, oh, would you be interested in coming over? And odd tonight. I weren't going to let it go without that synchronicity being mentioned. I don't know if you're there, Jason. I was probably one of the many fools that contact you via email and the likes, but this was, I'm probably not the best at explaining, either verbally or written, but this is what I was talking in my email about. Both Gary and Didi are the last year's organisers and this year's organisers for the European, and I don't know if you guys could get over, but I always like throwing stuff out. I'm never offended if rejected, but if you don't ask, you don't get.
I would love to. I would love to. Let's see how things unfold. That would be amazing, actually.
Everybody loves Amsterdam, right?
Yeah.
How can you not love Amsterdam?
Well, my significant other has friends over there, and she probably would love to go if I could make all that happen. So we shall see. I think this sounds like a great idea, though.
Awesome. Well, then we will definitely make sure we switch information and get everybody connected and make sure that happens, because I think that would be a good time for everybody.
Yeah, thank you, everybody, for the support. It's very lovely. Thank you, Jason. We will definitely have a chat, and I'll talk to you guys later because I have to go to bed. It's very
absolutely, Didi. Love you so much. Thank you.
Take care.
Good night.
Good night, Didi. Good night, Trixie.
Sleep well, Didi.
And can I just add one thing that if Zach comes over, can he please bring his knitting needles and knitting?
Oh yeah. Dude, it is so peaceful to have him sitting across from you, and he's just going to town with his needles and just chatting away. It's brilliant. There's no feeling like it. It's great on the chat, but having it in person, the energy is just astounding.
When I actually saw him the other day, we was having a chat the other day, and I thought, what's he got in his hands? It looks like he's knitting, but no, it can't be. No. I think it's
Gary, you might be looking.
What are your implementation? What are they called, Zach? Because somebody's fussing at us in chat. I'm not going to say any names.
Crocheting, actually.
Crocheting. Sorry.
Yeah,
Real men crochet.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't knit. Come on. No, I'm joking. I can't knit.
Real men.
I'll learn one day. Yeah, real men crochet. I need a bumper sticker that says that.
Yep.
But Zach, could you come over and do a workshop for men?
Right.
Oh,
that'd be a good idea. Yeah,
that'd be a really good idea.
How sexy.
The only thing is that we may only sell a few tickets.
Yeah, probably.
You're thinking, oh, I'm busy that day.
I've got it, Zach. You can make one for John that comes all the way down his face with some eye holes, and then he can go to all the conventions.
There we go.
I'd be arrested at the airport.
Right, what song are we playing
Jason
out with?
Lindgren here for crying out loud.
Let's get on.
Yeah, let's get out of here. Let's end this stream. I think we can do it. We'll just go ahead and kill it real quick.
Okay. So there, guys. Thanks for your time and thanks for the support.
You're not hanging around till later, Gary?
Will it be a few minutes? I can come back.
Yeah, take a little coffee break or whatever.
Obviously, we're going to get Roxanne and Jason in.
Obviously, I don't want to steal their thunder and be in their way. But
you're always welcome to sit, mate. You're all
would it be
friend of the realm.
Would it be the same? Would it be the same link?
It's there.
Yep.
Yeah, just mute down and you'll be there whenever you're ready to pop in.
Yeah, this room isn't going to go anywhere. The live stream on YouTube, we will end. We will stay right here. The stream will end.
I'll stay for another half an hour because I've got a race in the morning or a run in the morning. But yeah, I'll do another half an hour. But thanks.
Give me a bit more tunes, Josh, and I'll kill this stream.
Will do. All right. Well, this is everybody. This is Iron Realm Media's Have No Sphere. We had Didi and Gary on. We will be joined with Jason Lindgren right at the top of the next segment, talking about Shoot the Moon. His new movie he and Crow 777 are putting together. I'm so excited. I don't know. I'm giddy as a schoolgirl. Anyway, we'll be right back. You guys stick around.